Hello, everybody. Welcome on into MLB right here on youtube.com/SeanOsaurusRex. My name is Sean. Today, we continue our game, our series against the Chicago White Sox. We lead 1-0, even after kind of, I don't know, a pitiful offensive effort. I don't know if that's maybe the best word for it. Either way, it wasn't great. We got enough offense to win 4-1, but we struck out a ton. We had let me see. We didn't have a great start in the first inning. I think all three batters were set down by strikeout, and then we were able to get a really good start to the second inning, but as soon as we hit that home run, the offense really sputtered. Thanks to Julio Rodriguez, we were able to push the lead to 4-0 after a 3-run blast in the second inning from Cal Raleigh. But it was okay. Defensively and pitching-wise, we played very well, I felt, and that felt pretty good. I feel like I was at my best pitching management. And when I took pitchers out and made sure that I was rotating them every single inning, maybe changing the velocities and speeds on the opposing team. So that part was probably the strongest bit of it. We did get a lot of lucky contact kind of right to defenders, and we didn't see a lot of those like bloop shots that kind of could have let them back into the game. We will move on to game 2, looking to win this series just right here, right now. The White Sox looking to even it up. Robbie Ray on the mound for the Seattle Mariners, 11-2 with a 1.63 ERA. Michael Kopech, he is 7-2 with a 2.65 ERA. As we're about to start game number 2. Quick look at the standings. We're 9-1 in our last 10, by far the best in the last 10. 5-5, the Rangers and the Angels. The Astros, a surprising 3-7. I actually thought the Astros were going to make a bit more of a charge at us, but they haven't cut it inside double digits yet, which I think is interesting. I think we've been playing so well that it would be hard to really cut into that, but we have had some losses, and I figured that they would kind of take advantage of that every once in a while, but they have not done that. And so that has been interesting. Let's jump on in here. Playing the full game, as we always do. I forgot last night to wear the, what's it called? I forgot to wear the City Connects, so we'll go ahead and just do that tonight, and we'll pretend that it was yesterday. I completely forgot, and then I saw highlights of the game, and I was like, "Oh shoot, yeah, should have put the City Connects on." Whoops. Suarez is batting cold, but I do like Rodriguez up here, another right-handed pitcher. We do have Teoscar Hernandez on the injured list, so who do we have? Dylan Moore is in right field. I don't know that I like that. I think I'm gonna I think I'm gonna go ahead. We can DH Dylan Moore. That's fine, but that is his. What is that? He's a second baseman, first, third, shortstop, left, center, right. His 7th best position. He does have a little more speed than Trammell, but I think we're going to leave Trammell there. Julio Rodriguez to lead off. Crawford, Ty France. I was thinking about maybe putting in Cade Marlowe as a leadoff guy because of that good speed, but he's a 130 average. But Ty France, you know what, we'll put Dylan Moore here. And then we will flip Colton Wong, and we'll flip that. Yeah. Let's use them as table setters. All right. We're in the loading screen. It's time for the spiel. Every day at 6 p.m. Pacific time right here on the channel. You can be sure to catch new Mariners action, provided the Mariners are playing baseball. We're playing this day and date with the series, or with the season, here in MLB The Show 23. So if you'd like to see more, be sure to scroll down, subscribe, ring the bell. You will be notified when I post new videos, and you can keep up on all things Digital Mariners here in the show.
All right, we'll be back to get this one started after this.
I totally forgot about the City Connects. I think we've only had like a shot or two to wear them.
just about ready for baseball.
Game number
And towing the
69.
slab in this
Noise.
one, Robbie Ray.
We have Robbie Ray
His career
on the
ERA's
bump.
been under 4. What I like most about
Let's
him
see,
is
13
his
starts, 11 and 2
reliability.
record.
Takes the ball every
Other
fifth
stats
day,
that I didn't
ready to
read.
go whenever the manager calls.
All right, ready
I
to
love
go
that it
here.
tweaks
Here's Tim Anderson.
the display at the bottom. I feel like it's an easily
Here
like
comes
kind of
the
like
pitch.
who cares sort of
Here's a
detail.
strike at the knees.
But I think
And this
it's
one is
I think
off
it's
and
neat that they
running.
have it there. Tim Anderson here in the lineup today. I was wondering where he was yesterday.
Next pitch is downstairs.
He's already given better at bats than some of his teammates yesterday.
On the ground. To first.
We had a pretty low
One
pitch
out
count
the
with
top of
Logan
the
Gilbert
first.
yesterday, but with a tight game, they were starting to get on the fastball a little bit more. I think taking
Leori
him out
Garcia
was
up to the
a
plate.
good call.
How about Robbie Ray, a guy who won the Cy Young Award in 2021 for the Blue Jays, an all-star in 2017. He grew up in Tennessee. He played on the same travel team as Mookie Betts and Tony Kemp, and he was a really good hitter. And that's off
Ooh,
the inside
that
edge.
is a
Ball
strike.
one.
Yeah, and that's what's cool. You think about some of these travel teams and guys that played together and the success they've had. Ray's got a Cy Young Award, and Betts has got an MVP award.
France takes it
That
himself.
was
Two
kinda
away here
weird,
in the
but
top
there
of the
was-
first.
The designated hitter, Eloy
We're good.
Jimenez.
Eloy Jimenez now went deep in the ball game last night.
Oh, shoot. My microphone thing got all wonky. Should be better now.
And the first pitch misses for ball one. On the ground to the left, and it goes just foul. The pitch. And it's fouled away.
We go with a little knuckle curve here. Change speeds very late on that fastball.
Ground ball right side.
Ty France will take it,
steps on
and
the
we
bag,
are
and
through the
it's a
first half of the
1-2-3
inning. Okay.
inning. Nothing doing for the White Sox.
All right.
So
Hey,
now
even the fan
Mariners
cam
offense gets to go to work for the first time. We've got no score. Back after this
icon
on the
is
show.
different. Interesting. Shout out to attention to detail there.
Back in Seattle, showing the slab
Michael
in
Kopech,
today's game. Michael
14
Kopech.
starts
And singing,
with a
we were
7-2
talking
record.
earlier about how he's
2.65 on the
doing a
ERA,
great job
85 innings
navigating
pitched.
through tough
He has given up
spots.
66 hits.
I've just
He's
been
walked
so
29
impressed
for a
when it seems
1.12
like there's more
whip, and then it looked
pressure.
like it was
He's calm
72.
and settles in. He's done an
72
incredible
strikeouts?
job with runners in
All right, we
scoring
finally
position.
have
Most
a
guys
pitcher who's going to
get a little
throw a
tight, they
fastball as a
start to aim the
primary.
baseball, but
Hopefully
for
that
some
will help
reason,
us
he
today.
gets looser, the
Four
ball
seam
comes out
at
of his hand
97,
with more
slider
life,
86.
and
That
he's
could be
able
a
to
devastating
wiggle off the
combination. You
hook
throw in
of,
that curveball at 80
situations
and
and
circle
get his team
change at
back in the
88,
dugout.
and could be some trouble.
Julio Rodriguez stands in
But if we
here,
get a little
takes
more
ball one
of the
low.
stuff inside or in the upper part of the zone. Ooh, that's a circle change right there. Okay, well, this is not going according to plan. He's going to throw.
And it is 2-1.
That's a good time to look
purpose
low.
pitch right there, trying to tease him, get him to raise his sights, pop something up, and make it an easy out.
That one not close. 3 balls and a strike. The wide to kick the pitch. In for a
That's
strike.
fine.
Full
That's
count now.
fine. Wasn't going to do anything with it. Going to switch to a contact swing.
Swing
Ooh, and he got me
and
with a
struck
slider.
him out.
Struck me
Snap
out.
roll.
Oof.
Very frustrating right there as a speedy potential base runner. When with 2 strikes, you just struggle to put the ball in play. You don't even have to get a hit at that point. You can help your team just by reaching on an error, but some way you got to
darn
find a
it.
way to shorten
Way-
up the swing and put the ball
Way
in
too
play
aggressive. A
next
little
time.
frustrated with that
Crawford
last
now
swing.
in the box.
Couldn't even get a
Comes up
piece of
empty
it.
with a swing there. 4th in the American League in batting average this year. Now
Okay,
a
gotta
check
slow down.
swing,
Settle
but he
down.
held
Settle
up.
down.
The wind
This
of
was
the
where I
pitch.
struggled yesterday.
And that one almost got him.
See, and that's the thing too, is like if you can get Rodriguez on, if he misses a pitch like that, Bam, runner in scoring position.
And that is in for a strike. And now 2-2. The pitch.
Okay, there we go. I'll take a little
2-2
foul
now.
ball.
Fouls that off to the left.
Really late on that. I thought that was going to drop a little bit more. Just happy to get a piece of it. Everything's been up in the zone. It makes me think he's going to want to go low.
Got him.
Oh, when he threw that fastball right by me.
It's a strikeout, but
Oh, man.
if they make their outs as difficult as that
This is
one.
not a good start. Similar start to what we had yesterday. A couple of strikeouts.
Dylan Moore. First offering.
It's a good take right there. He's a little wily. Kopech is. Command doesn't seem like it's there. Kind of giving him some freebie swings and strikes, though.
That one missed.
Looks really sharp at the start of this one. This is how it's going to be today. It's going to be a tough one for this lineup.
And now
that was it. That was the pitch I was looking for.
Something from that pitch. He clearly wasn't timed up on the fastball. In a 2-0 count, you have to be ready to do damage.
Next offering clips the zone count even at 2. Good eye right there.
Good news is pitch count is going up. We have about 18 here early.
Got him.
Got me with a
Strikes out
slider
the side
twice.
to begin the game. What a start. Mariners are down in order. We played an inning, no score.
I mean, these are the disastrous starts. I saw it as soon as I looked at that. It's 97 and 86. It was going to be a huge problem for me, and it has proven to be an issue today as well.
Back to work. And that's a strike. They say you win.
0-2 is the count.
And that one is lifted in the air. Great effort as he's able to haul it in. And there's one away.
That is good. The first baseman, number 44.
So digging in, Seby Zavala. Good defender. He's been inconsistent offensively. That clips the zone. Strike one.
Kevin Gausman out there with the league lead in wins. We have Castillo a couple behind Robbie
Second
Ray.
inning here, no score. Swing and a miss. That is strike 2. Ed Drummond, our umpire behind the plate in this one.
Yeah, Boogie's a really fair umpire, both the pitchers and the hitters. So standard strike zone, he's consistent with it. And the great thing is you don't see players questioning the calls too much. So that's a good thing in this day and age.
There we go. Sinker for the strike.
Swings and misses, struck him out.
Well, he made pretty quick work of him right there. You look at the sequence, everything down at the knees and below. And some guys are good low ball hitters, but right there, they clearly had a plan to pound that part of the zone, and he wasn't able to put up much of a fight.
Jake Berger steps to the plate for the White Sox. That one's in there, 0-1. Swings through that.
This guy's pounding the zone. Hitters don't have time to think in between pitches.
On the ground, right side.
Okay.
On to France, and that will end the inning.
Off to a good start
1-2-3
defensively.
go White Sox. We'll go to the bottom of the second. No score.
This is very eerily similar to yesterday's game.
Welcome back. Bottom of the second. Stepping in the long ball threat, Eugenio Suarez.
Eugenio Suarez.
And he deals. And the first pitch misses for ball 1. That one ran inside, almost got him.
This is kind of reminding me a bit of that last Miami Marlins game we had, where the pitcher just
And a pitch.
did not have the command.
That one fouled off.
I thought I was higher in the zone. Obviously pretty late on it, but...
And now
Ooh,
it's
that's a
even
nice
up.
curveball. That's a nice curveball. Probably going to be a swing and miss there if I go for it.
This one popped
And that
up.
one a little under. I thought that was... Okay. All right.
Anderson puts it away for the out. And there's one down.
Yeah, I'm looking at his
Well,
body
mercifully, we
language,
were
and it
able to
just
get an
doesn't
out
seem
without
like
a
things are in
strikeout,
sync.
which is kinda
It's
nice.
just not coming off his bat the way it did earlier in the regular season.
Better
Colton
timing
to
on the
hit.
four-seam fastball.
He
Oh,
swings and
no,
misses at the first
Sean.
pitch. 0-1.
Too aggressive.
That's not even close.
It was
to
still
the
too
zone.
late.
Next offering is in for a strike. And a pitch. Fouled off
Okay,
the plate.
foul
They'll
that
do
one
it
away.
again. Righty delivers. Keeps the at-bat going with a foul ball.
Well, you put good velocity in the head of the hitter. He's got to get it ready early and then change speeds. Keep him off balance. That's the goal.
In the air, right side.
So
Makes the
better
catch for
better
the
timing
out.
on the last couple fastballs. Just a little under him.
Batting six.
A.J. Pollock at the dish.
A.J. Pollock.
In there for strike one.
Looks like a really good fastball today.
A little
You
too
can hear
a
that
little too
catcher's
committed
mitt
there on that
pop
first
it.
pitch with
Looking forward to
Colton
hearing a lot
Wong.
of that one in this one.
I sold out for the fastball there, and I kind of got what I was looking for. Problem was I just wasn't able to lay off when I saw that it was staying high, because it was not only was it a pitch, you know. Okay, no sound there. Not only was it a pitch that was like way outside the zone, I was late
and
on it.
here it comes. Swing and a miss, struck him out.
Oh, that must be my headset.
Mariners go down quietly there. We'll move to the third with no score.
Hang on, gotta get a cord. See if plugging it in makes it better. Okay, so we have racked up 4 strikeouts here in the first 2 innings.
On to the
Which
third inning.
is
Here's Elvis
pretty
Andrus.
The second baseman.
Ray, in his 9th season, 31 years old, and of course has a Cy Young to his credit. Ground ball up the middle. Crawford throws.
We're going to want to probably change our approach here with as we start to get towards the second go through. A little more on the secondary pitches and less on that fastball.
Yasmani Grandal.
Throwing a lot of them on the first pitch, and I'm throwing a lot of them in the same location. I think that was part of the problem that we had yesterday. I might have been able to use Logan Gilbert with more of a secondary pitch focus.
Outside of the United States, Cuba has more players and representatives in Cooperstown than any other country. Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic are close behind.
And he's down 0-2 as he swings through it.
Maybe a little slider action, slow him down, or is that too predictable?
The next offering
it's
misses.
just a bad pitch.
And the count 1-2. One down, base is empty. Swings and misses.
Okay, got him on
Snap
that
throw.
one.
That right there is one of those breaking balls that you swing through and you feel like you should have done something with it or at least spoiled it away. But when it's breaking in on you like that, if the spin is tight enough, it can actually tie you up.
Now here's Jake Marisnick. And that's in there at the
That
knees
sinker
for
gets
a
the
strike.
call low in the zone.
Marisnick getting to start in right. 32 years old, and he was a third-round pick.
Sinker and the
back in
fastball are coming out at about the
2009.
same speed, so it's not
Pitch.
quite a.
They say it went.
It's not the speed difference that I'm looking for. It's not like it's like, oh, here's the 4-seam or something at this, and then that's like a touch off.
Hacks and misses. It's a
Okay.
strikeout.
That was a pretty solid strikeout right there.
Down in order go the White Sox. And we are
The reason I bring
still
that up is as we get
scoreless.
deeper into this game and I try to factor in some of the secondary pitches, they could still be on top of that.
As we go,
And they have such a right-handed heavy lineup that
and
the
now
slider
first baseman,
feels
Jack
kind of.
France.
Not super useful.
Kopech back to work. France goes
Hope you like
5
pitching, by
feet,
the way.
11 inches, 215 pounds, and he was selected to the All-Star game last year. Foul ball there.
That's the pitch. That's the one. That's a solo shot. If I could just hold back a little longer.
Right-hander kick steals. There's a strike.
Oh, damn. Oh my God,
In the
Sean,
dirt, Rendell on the
no.
first. Got him.
It's
Put away
another
on the
fucking strikeout.
The pitch sequence right there. I'm
What are
telling
we
you what,
doing?
pitcher and
Slider
catcher on
way
the
out of the
same page
zone
right now.
too early.
And the batter now, Cal Raleigh. That one ripped.
That's gone. That's gone. See ya.
That's back.
See ya. See ya.
And that
Cal
one is
Raleigh
outta
putting us on the
here.
board.
He
Woo!
sends a
I thought that
rocket
was
to
going to be
left.
one of those
His
perfect
11th of
outs
the
that makes me
year.
want to
It's
scream.
1-0.
I do feel like they could do some more work with this logo. It's weird to see like the blue and yellow, but then like the regular Mariners logo. But I understand that that's probably more advanced than just like, oh, we'll switch out the logo here in a flat manner.
Step in the box, you're ready to pull the trigger wherever it's at. Really good job by the hitter. Total conviction on that swing.
Here's Taylor Trammell.
Perfect, perfect. That's what I was looking for.
That one's in
That's
there, and that is strike one.
That four seems a little bit slower. Couple miles an hour slower.
Next offering is fouled back.
I still late on that one. Oh, wow, early.
The wind of the pitch. Outside.
2 strikes.
Everything's been fastballs here.
And that's in the dirt.
2 strikes.
Finally, one off-speed pitch. Oh, fuck
In the
off.
dirt. Grandal whips it to first. Out. Number 2.
He's just so
So the lineup
effective.
flips over. Julio Rodriguez, the next to hit. And takes low for ball 1. On the ground right side. Sends it to first. Third out. The Mariners pick up a run thanks to this solo homer. It's now a 1-0 ball game.
Cal Raleigh.
You're watching Major League Baseball.
Giving me some leads to
exclusively
work
on
with
the
here in
show.
these games, which has been very nice. But it's one of those, it's a thing too where,
On to the fourth. And the batter
like, I look
now,
at it
Tim
and we're through
Anderson.
3 in this one, or even through 2
The
in
hole that
yesterday's
everyone
game, and you're
thinks
just like,
of with
what
Tim
the,
Anderson is
like,
the walk-off
what?
homer he hit in the inaugural Field of Dreams game in 2021. That felt like a movie.
Yeah, and it was a
How am I
movie that
getting
Tim Anderson
anything?
had
All of
never
this other stuff
seen.
looks like such
The
garbage.
1-0. Called strike right
How,
there.
how do I have a home run? Not only that, like a perfect home run.
On the ground. And foul ball. And now the lefty. Got him.
Got him
Anderson
looking.
down on strikes. And now Leori Garcia, the switch hitter batting right. Fly ball down the line. Trammell gets under it. And there are 2 down.
There we go.
Now batting, designated hitter, Eloy.
Here's Eloy Jimenez. Grounded out his first time. Going 1.
0-1's the count.
The White Sox still looking for their first hit in this one. Swing and a miss. And the count is 0-2.
I think he was sitting
That
off
was a
speed
circle
there.
change. Let's go. Sinker, other side of the plate. You fouled that one off. Okay. think that was, what, 2 fastballs? Oh, no, knuckle curve just started. We'll go high and tight fastball here. I don't love that it's going to be 3 pitches right at the same velocity, but kind of froze him up there. All right.
He gets a 1-2-3.
I'm pretty sure he's who I gave up the home run to on, like, just the most heinous pitch. It came out of my hand, and I just went, well, that's a problem. And it was a no-doubter home run. We do have this pitcher up to 46 pitches, which is pretty good for me. About 20 of them in the first couple innings.
That misses off the outside edge.
Well, these Mariners doing a great job, Boog, of just waiting for the right pitch to come their way, and I'm seeing very patient at-bats out of him. He's only given up 1 run, but the starter's pitch count is starting to get up there, and that might be the best news yet for this offense.
And a ground ball to first.
Early on the fastball. Damn it.
And a quick out, number 1.
You know, sometimes all it takes is getting to the next arm before an offense does any damage, and that might be the case today.
Moore now at the plate is
Too aggressive there. Really sold out. Thought I was going to get the fastball.
And a pop-up right
And there it
side,
is.
foul territory.
God damn it.
Zavala hauls it in, and there's
It's
2
so
away.
frustrating that it's that late, and it's even more frustrating that it is that low in the zone. I thought I had it.
Eugenio Suarez up to hit down.
I thought I was up. I mean, that one's probably not going to do a whole. I'm not probably. Stop.
Check swing, no appeal.
I thought I was going to do more damage with that one, but also that pitch was higher in the zone than I should have been swinging at in the first place. Fuck
Pitch
me.
just popped up. Andrews drifts towards it, and that is that.
Starting to get real frustrated
And
here.
1-2-3 go to Mariners.
I mean, there's just. I'm just
They
doing
lead it
nothing.
1-0.
Fucking nothing. How do I even have a run in this game? But these are the
Back
teams.
at T-Mobile Park, and now it's Luis
These are the
Robert.
teams that I want to beat. These are the teams I'd like to be playing better against.
And the pitch.
Against.
There's a strike. And that clips the
I
inside
definitely have a
corner.
better
Oh,
feel
this
with
guy's
Robbie
so comfortable
Ray's
hitting with 2 strikes, even a good pitch early in the at-bat. If he's not ready to pull the trigger,
rhythm.
worried if he gets to an 0-2 count.
Get
Over
there.
to first,
Woo!
and they take care of Robert for the out.
Well, he's doing a nice job.
Holy
of keeping the ball
shnikes.
out of the air, lets the defense work behind him with another ground ball.
It's a great
Good
throw by
execution.
Colton Long. Just
Seby
in
Zavala
time.
Steps to the plate for the White Sox.
I think it
Went
was
down on
way
strikes
out.
his first time through. That one's in there, 0-1.
Surprised at how passive these White Sox are being.
And there's the strike.
0-2 count, both pitches on the inside part of the plate. Hitter is thinking, I don't want to get beat here. This is a good time for something off speed away.
The White Sox.
It wasn't off speed,
yet
but it
to
was
pick up a
away.
hit here. And there's a ball.
Ooh, just
It's a
missed.
good take.
What do I have? I don't really have. Well,
The 1-1 is fouled off. The 1-2. And another ball.
just
Really
missed.
good
Huh?
take, especially with 2 strikes.
Two now. Got it.
Got him.
For the K.
All right. Seeing a little bit more patience here out of the White Sox
Here's the
batter.
third baseman, Jake Berger. Grounded out his first time up. That one down the line.
All right. Well,
And it gets by him.
that knuckle curve did not get as low as I wanted it
Elvis
to.
Andrews
Actually, it
steps to
okay.
the plate for the White
It was
Sox.
fine on the
0 for 1,
inside
he
piece
grounded
of
out
it.
in his first at bat. And a good fastball to start him off. That's strike 1.
I got a little too cute, a little too tricky there.
Breaking ball in there for a strike.
That was more where I wanted that. Other knuckle curve.
Roethlisberger off of first with 2 away. Cuts and misses.
Yeah,
It's
got
a
him on that one.
strikeout.
That was a bit of a dicey pitch.
So a man
That was
left
a
for the White
real
Sox.
hot zone
They're
for him.
down
So
1-0.
one hit for each team as we're halfway through this one. It was a pretty short game in yesterday's game as well.
Stepping in for the Mariners, Colt Luong. The right-hander back to work.
No,
This
Sean.
one high in the air to left center.
Drop.
Robert on the move. Got it.
I mean,
Really
it's
had to
early.
move
It's
for
off the
that
end of the bat.
catch.
Whoa, what the
And
hell?
there's one down.
Oh, I turned the volume up on my headphones. That's
And up
kind of
next
scared
for
me.
Seattle, A.J. Pollock.
I went to itch my head and I bopped the volume knob.
Swings
You can
through
see
that
me
one
starting
for
to get a
strike
little more
one.
aggressive here. I'm getting a little impatient. I'm getting a little frustrated.
It seems like within the 3rd or 4th pitch of just about every at bat.
Bounce to the left side. Dives and he
I shouldn't
can't
be able to
hang
get
on.
there.
Not in time. Great
Take a
effort, but
breath.
it's an
Slow
infield hit.
down. There's no reason to be swinging like this.
And here's the first baseman,
This is-
Ty France. 0 for 1 so far.
Maniacal swinging.
Out towards right center field.
Stay at
That
second,
one
stay
gets
at
down
second,
for
stay
him.
at second.
Quick throw back in. Lead runner
Just ignore
holds
the
at
fact that I
second
was going to
with
send
one
him to
gone.
third.
They're looking to be aggressive and got something he could handle. You know what they say, he couldn't have thrown it out there any better than that, and certainly the case that time. Just flared it back behind the second baseman and dropped it in there.
One down. Cal Raleigh getting ready to hit. Tried to check his swing. Appeal to third. No swing. Just held it back there. On the ground right side.
Well, that is truly unfortunate. Oh, he's safe.
Good hustle.
He's
And the
safe,
inning
just a really
continues.
slow roller.
But he beats it. Good
Oh,
hustle.
my
And the inning
goodness.
continues. Taylor Trammell
Early on
up
it.
next for the
Okay, the
Mariners.
fastball down to 92 in that scenario.
First pitch, and he just misses.
Okay, we're getting a lot of help here.
Now he gets it away from Grandal.
We're actually going to score a run on that. Good read on my part. I'm not very good at that. That might be the weakest part of my game, is reading stuff like that. I get way too passive. That's a very weird. Excuse me, you left your mask right in the way? Rude, that's an injury risk.
Good hitters count the 2-0. That's a little
Okay,
bit low.
that is really generous. Helpful right there.
Off the plate. Good pitch, though.
Julio Rodriguez on deck for the
Gonna take something pretty deep to get.
And there's ball 4.
That just came apart right there. 4-pitch walk, and the guy at the plate was not going to help him out by swinging at something out of the zone.
So up next.
Yeah,
Julio
what a surprise!
Rodriguez.
I didn't swing swing at something outside the zone. 52.
He swings and
bad
fouls
swing.
one off.
I mean, it's in the. Gonna take something pretty deep to get Raleigh all the way around.
In the air, out towards right center.
I mean, that's bad.
Makes the catch, inning
That's
over.
bad. Really bad.
2 men left
Okay.
stranded, but they do push across one. 5 innings complete. It's the Mariners 2 and the White Sox nothing.
We do get the one run. We're here, top
And
6.
welcome back. Start of the 6th, John Shambi with Chris Singleton. And leading off, Yasmani Grandal.
Their phone ringing? It sounded like a phone was like on your, like when you call somebody, it goes like that. I thought I heard that in my headphones. I might be losing it, folks. I might be losing it.
The the pitch. And first offering is fouled off.
Okay, seeing a little more. See if we get more aggression here on some of these early pitches of these at-bats.
One base runner to this point, and it's not exactly early anymore. They have guys in this lineup capable of sparking something, but it just hasn't happened for them yet.
Got him.
Okay,
One up, one down.
Put the swing there.
This was
the inning. I pulled Gilbert after 6 yesterday.
Now it's the right fielder, Jake Marisnick.
3-pitch strikeout last time up. Got to put up more of a fight in this one.
This is kind of cute.
1-0.
Okay, kind of glad. I'm okay with that being a pretty garbage pitch right there.
And a foul ball.
Yeah, that's better. Better contact on that.
Fight against this starter. He's doing his thing out there. They're going to have to push back at some point and make him work a little bit harder.
Good contact in there. See if we can time up with maybe a little inside slider here. Ooh, or just get him looking. Okay. That is a surprising result for that.
To start the frame, and that's now 3 in a row.
Yeah, he's really settling in and getting a feel for his pitches, throwing them where he wants to right now. So we'll see how long he can keep this streak going.
Anderson at the plate for the 3rd time as he comes up empty there.
You know, Boog, I can relate to Tim Anderson with my football background and baseball background. He played Little League baseball, but then decided to focus on basketball until he got hurt his sophomore year of high school. He then went back to baseball as a junior. 4 years later, the White Sox made him a first-round draft pick.
Tim made a good choice.
Yes, he did.
I don't know why that was so bad. Try and tuck this one high and tight. Speed difference to get him. No, it's just
in the air, left field.
Those last 2 pitches, I didn't think were going to be as bad as they were. They were pretty bad. They were pretty bad. And against a good hitter like Tim Anderson,
6 shutout innings now. 2, 3, 4 due up.
Be a little more lucky than good in that spot.
It's the Mariners 2.
But that's the kind of contact we saw a lot in yesterday's game as well, of like kind of just floated out there, easy for Pollock to get there. They're not getting the bloop shots. They're not getting the seeing eye grounders that are piling base runners up.
Crawford measures 6 feet 2 inches, 28 years old, and he's a former Gold Glover in the American League. That's in for a strike.
He's pitching well, but not throwing a ton of first pitch strikes. Usually doesn't work out for success, but you can never predict baseball.
Next one misses, and that is ball 1. And the right-hander deals. Close, but called a ball. Now 2 balls and a strike. That one missing inside.
First pitch strike from the
covered
pitcher.
everything
No
inside.
the hitter. Very patient, showing good discipline. Now he's in the driver's seat with the 3-1 count.
Okay.
And he walked him.
That's a real tight strike zone in that last at bat. We've seen a couple calls go our way here offensively. That's a terrific take. Even if that's strike 2, that's a great take.
First pitch doesn't find the zone. There's a strike.
Not really going to do a whole lot with that. Even if it's good timing, it's likely going to be off the end of the bat into a double play. That's when I'd like to pull down the line. Darn.
But was able to slow his bat down just enough to make contact with that pitch. Keep the at bat alive.
And down on strikes.
Yeah.
Picks up strikeout number 7.
I was going to be able to. It's a slider way out of the zone.
Swing and a miss.
Way too early on that,
Slider
yeah.
right there.
Jeez
Suarez
Louise.
in his 9th season, a member of the 1,000 hit club, and he was born in Venezuela. Now 1-1.
You can see me thinking about it.
Players in the history of the game were born in Venezuela, including one that finished with 500+ home runs, 3,000+ hits, and a triple crown.
Here's a swing.
There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Woo! Suarez. Let's fucking go.
Eugenio Suarez.
Let's
blast
fucking
one out.
go.
His 18th home run of the season. It's 4-0.
That animation looks so weird.
When you're working with
Like,
this
it
kind of
looks like
velocity,
the arm
so
was
critical
so
that you
independent
move
of the
all
body.
around, work quickly,
That
and
was
make sure
very
that you
odd.
keep that hitter off balance. Clearly not fooled by the location.
The pitcher had
or
done
the
such a great job to
velocity. He was
kind of talk
all
about what
over
that guy's
fastball.
the commentator's referencing.
Now the White
I've
Sox
been off
manager
balance
is
all
out of the
day long.
dugout.
I've
Will make
had
move
a
to the
couple of
pen.
good hits here and there,
Michael Kopech,
good
done
pieces
for
of
the day,
contact from
just
some of our
never
more
found
powerful
his
hitters.
groove, wasn't able to settle
But other
in.
than that, it's been a lot of
Coming on,
early
back in the
swings on
moment.
stuff, late on the fastball, early on the off-speed stuff. That's my worst. That's where I feel like I'm just the most frustrated. It's like, oh, I'm super early on the slider and then terribly late on the fastball. And I've been that way today. And then it's just been a couple that I've been able to get a hold of. Gonna help us in this one.
So one
And I
out,
think
nobody
gives me
on.
a little
Here's
bit
the
of
second baseman,
room to
Cole
breathe to
Wong.
maybe leave
In there, and it's 0-1.
90 miles an hour on that fastball right there. So, we'll probably leave Robbie Ray in for one more inning. But we do have pitchers ready to roll. And then, depending on if we give up any runs, we're not in a save situation. So we can maybe work with somebody else and then Seawald or something like that. All right. Four seam fastball at 94. Slider at 84. Circle change 85. Curveball 78.
Strike two.
Quickly down.
He is
0-2
throwing
in the
dots.
count. I think you got to choke up a little bit, spread out the feet. You don't know what the velocity or the location of this next pitch is going to be.
Gonna count
Okay,
1
way
and 2.
inside. This is kind of similar to that Miami game. I mean, we don't have like the run support or whatever, but
And that
you can
just
see we had that
misses.
one pitcher that came in and he was just super
Still
wild,
only one out
didn't
here
pitch
in the
well
inning.
or with command for most of the game, and then they brought in a closer or a bullpen guy, and I had to change my entire
Anderson
process.
drifts towards it. He makes the grab.
good
2
timing.
down.
Slider was way up in the zone. Probably something I should have got a hold of, but
Left fielder, AJ.
Here's
wasn't
the
expecting
left
that
fielder,
pitch in that
A.J.
location.
Pollock.
Well, this
1
guy's
for
all
2.
in throwing strikes. I got to change that mentality.
And a foul
I don't have to
ball.
swing at every first pitch or every pitch in the zone, but
The 0-1. Not the best swing that time from the first round pick. Next offering is outside.
Too close for me, partner, to take that 0-2 fastball, but for whatever reasons, he let it go by. He's still in the at-bat. I don't think he'll let the next one go.
Next pitch misses inside. The count now 2-2. And that's outside.
I think you could make an argument that one of those two on the outside should be
And
strike
down
three.
on strikes
That was a
he
walk.
goes,
That
and
was a
that ends the
fucking
inning. But two come
walk.
across to score in the inning, courtesy of this.
I just ran
two-run
out of
homer.
patience.
It's now a 4-0 ball game. It's Major League Baseball, and it's on the
Hey, Eugenio
show.
Suarez coming through for the Seattle Mariners. 4-0 now through 6. We've been able in both of these games to create a little bit of separation. It's both games have led off, like
Top
give
of
it
inning
the
number 7. Now
the
number
runs have
2
started coming in
hitter,
after
Leury Garcia.
or because of, I should say,
The
a
White Sox in striking distance.
Cal
They
Raleigh
have some work to
home
do.
run.
Boog, it starts with the leadoff man. Need a good at-bat out of him right
3-run home run yesterday. Solo shot today.
First pitch
Perfect,
just
perfect.
misses.
Count 1-0.
And that's a
We
little
have
high.
this 4-run lead a little earlier in this one.
This at-bat right here. He's been patient.
We had a
and now he's in
2-run
the
lead at
driver's
this
seat
point
with
in
a
yesterday's
2-0
game.
count.
Lined, and that's a base hit.
Oh, he took a big turn at first, it looked like. Not a great
Here's the White Sox
at-bat there.
Eloy Jimenez. In
There we
to
go.
knees
Thought that
for a
sinker was
strike.
actually going to drop
Here's
a
good
little bit more.
opportunity in this inning to get on the scoreboard after that leadoff hit, and hardly order coming up right behind them. This is where they need to get going.
0-1 down. Late swing fouled off.
I think France might have actually been able to get that. He like didn't even try
Got the belt
for
and
it.
fires. And that one off the outside
Really bad.
edge.
If you're on the mound right now, you know you have to retire this hitter. If he gets on base, it could open up the floodgates for this offense to score some runs.
In there
It's
safely.
late.
Well, just
I
a
mean, that
classic
wasn't
case of
him.
finding
I'd
the
love to
power.
see that
They
go to
have hit it real hard
Suarez.
in that direction. Now let's see if they can string something together, make it a little more interesting. Hitter's got some good opposite field power. What I like about something being hit to the right side.
The interesting thing is like I don't even
the
really.
base runner at second has a very good read and can determine whether or not
It's
he
not
can
like I'm
score
sitting
on
here
that base
questioning
hit.
whether or not I
Really
should have
looks
left
like
him
these
in. You know
hitters
what I
have
mean?
been in between with their timing today. Good fastball, excellent slider.
Do I just
but
go a
they've not been
little
able
higher?
to commit to one velocity and stay there.
That misses. Now
Why
one
want it
strike.
that
I
high?
remember watching Johan Santana pitch, and when he was in his prime, you would see a lot of guys out in front, right-handers pulling that change up in the stands, and then fouling the fastball the opposite field up into the stands.
And they take care of Robert for the out. Runner tags at second.
Is it
to
Robert?
third.
I always thought it was
Tying.
Robert.
And it's runners at the corners with one gone. Sebi Zavala digs in now. Goes 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. First
Oh,
offering
that
and it
one
just
a
misses.
little more inside than I anticipated.
There's a strike.
Well, baseball is coming out of his hand very well. He's been able to paint all four corners, but really good ride at the top of the
Little
zone.
anxious,
Hitters
little
have to
anxious.
respect
Haven't
that.
been pitching
Very
much
difficult
with
pitch to
runners
hit.
on.
Lefty out of the stretch. Runners at first and third. Base knock right field. He's in safely at second. A run comes in on the play.
See, those
Well,
are the
that gets
pitches
a
that
little
we, or the
closer
hits that
to
we
this
have not been giving up. All right, we got to quit fucking around here. This is. Who's. Oh, it's Matt Brash. He's the guy I kind of want. 92.
I don't know how he's able to shoot that pitch the other way and still put something on it. That pitch
I was
inside, and he let
trying to
it
get him through
really
this
deep,
one.
so
I
pretty
wanted to get
incredible
it
hands to fight it
into,
off and
I
still
wanted to get him
keep
through
moving.
7. That's a little frustrating, honestly. I relied on the double play there. I was okay with giving up the
Pitcher for
one run.
Mariners, Chris
That's all right.
Flexen.
We're gonna fix it.
Well,
We're gonna
his
get out of this.
ERA
No
very
problem.
Solid, and that
Here
doesn't
we go.
always tell you the whole story, but he's been really good so far this year.
My headset is just not connecting well. I don't know what's going on. Sometimes it cuts out, but like it's not. A little early. A little early. Still a little early. Okay, gotta dial this in. Here's a slider. It's early. Here's the good thing. I'm consistently early with him. There it is. Oh, there it is. Perfect. Perfect. We're in.
Stepping in, Jake Berger. That's a
There we
strike.
go.
And it's 0-1.
So even though it's his 5th best pitch, I do like using the slider a lot with Chris Flexen here.
For a double play in this spot.
Swing and a ball popped up, and it falls. Coming home. He will score, and it's now a 2-run
That
game.
is, so this is the stuff that we weren't getting. This is fucking infuriating.
You don't expect it to get you knocked too often, but right there, somehow he got it to drop in behind first base, and that's where no one could get to it.
Now it's the second baseman, Elvis Andrus. His righty-lefty splits there. Swing and a miss, and the count is 0-2.
Big pitch right
We're
here.
okay.
He's
We're
going to
okay.
try to make a pitch that's going to produce a strikeout or a ground ball double play.
Goes down looking.
Not the best
Just
scenario
locked him up
there.
right there for the second out, and that's an at-bat he's probably going to be thinking about for a little while. Didn't pull the trigger. Not how you
Glad that
wanna
I'm
go
able to
down
get
in
him.
an RBI spot, so now you got to hope your teammate.
God, I miss
behind you
Luis
can pick you
Castillo
up.
so much. Oh, I say it once a week. Maybe 3 times a game. I don't know. I miss Luis Castillo so
And
much.
now up to the plate, Yasmani Grandal. And that's in for a strike.
So what do I have here at
Corners
my
are
disposal?
occupied with 2 down.
The cutter's going to break in. Slider, I don't really want to use. Circle change, I don't love. 12-6 curve, I definitely don't love. So we go with maybe a little cutter, maybe a cheeky little cutter low.
Strike 2.
Perhaps not quite ready to hit. First 2 pitches by him for a couple of strikes. Now back is against the wall. He's going to have to figure something out and figure it out quickly.
That was
Next
a
offering is foul
terrible
back.
slider. That was a terrible slider.
This one lifted in the air,
That's a
left
pretty bad
field.
pitch as well.
That takes care of Grandal.
Okay,
And
so
that
hopefully
is
that's
that.
as stressful as it gets.
So it's 2 runs on 4 hits, no errors, and a couple left on.
I complimented myself
time.
yesterday on
It's
my
the
pitching
Mariners
changes,
4 and the White Sox 2.
and I got a little overzealous this time.
Back in Seattle, set for the last half of the 7th. And now the first baseman,
So-
Ty France.
See if we can get any of this
to
back.
work. Fouled off. He was late.
Pitch a little high in the zone there. Probably would have been fine to just let that one go. Problem is that we gave up. We got 2 runs. We got the 2-run home run from Suarez, and then we gave up 2 runs immediately the following half inning. And that is where it gets. That has been a weirdly consistent thing throughout this season.
And a strike in there.
A 1-2 count. All he's seen is fastballs. You've got to expect something off speed. Stay back.
There we go.
Base hit out of the center
That's a pretty
field.
terrible swing. I mean, got just enough of it to drive it
Well, he
into
wasn't
center
afraid to
field.
hit with 2 strikes. I think he choked up a little bit, maybe spread out, but
We got
he got
lefty
the job
Cal
done
Raleigh
right there.
coming up. This would be an excellent time to, throw another one out of the
Man
park,
aboard. Now here is Cal Raleigh. He's already homered here in this one. And the first pitch misses
that's
for
a good
ball
take.
1.
Kind of a great take for me. That's like a fine, probably pretty average take for most people. If we grade it on the Sean curve, that's an incredible take.
Right-handed reliever. And downstairs.
It's a pitch
When you get
well
ahead
outside of the
count,
zone,
there's no doubt that
which
the
for whatever
success
reason I
rate
can't
goes
help
up,
but
and
swing
that's
at.
what he's been
But more
doing.
importantly,
made a
it's
big
a
impact for him
swing
in recent games.
that I don't take after getting a hit, getting runners on,
Ripped to right, base hit.
getting a little amped. You're like, fuck, I gotta go.
Lead runner
And then
to second, so 2 on and nobody out. Well, Singy, he is locked in there.
Well, he's
you're
really
just
slowed
trying
the
to, you're
game
trying to get
down.
everything.
It's
You're
like
trying
he's
to
moving in full
swing for
speed,
the
and everybody
fences.
is a step or 2 behind. The way that he squared up that baseball tells me that he is seeing it like a beach ball.
At the plate, Taylor Trammell.
That's also a good
in
take.
there for
That
strike 1.
location, just kind of letting it go. Strike 1, no big deal.
And
That's a
swing
terrible
and
swing.
miss.
That's a terrible swing. Wasn't looking anywhere near it. Way too early.
Swings
That's
through that
that's
one.
an
It's a
even worse swing.
strikeout.
Okay,
And
well
that's
now
the
we're in
first
real
out.
bad,
Back to
real
the
bad
top.
spot here.
Top of the lineup, Julio Rodriguez. Up next for the Mariners. Swing, and this one's bounced to the
Thank
ground.
God.
And
Thank
he picks it
fucking
up
God.
in foul territory. Kicks and fires. Liner caught at second.
Oh, just couldn't get
J.P.
it
Crawford
past
gets a
him.
chance to hit. First pitch, and he just misses.
Ball 1, no strike.
France, the lead runner out at second. Raleigh on at first with 2 down. Next pitch
Way
is
too
popped
late.
up.
Oh my God.
Berger puts the squeeze on that one, and that'll end the inning.
Disgusting. Fucking disgusting.
Welcome back. And
Absolutely
a new arm on the mound to
disgusting.
start the 8th. Penn Murphy.
He's certainly been one of their better relief pitchers this season.
That is
The
so
numbers are
irritating.
really solid,
You're
so
like
they
2
feel
on,
great
nobody
about
out, and then just garbage. Garbage. Fucking garbage.
And now the right fielder,
Leading off
Jake
for the White Sox,
Marisnick.
The right fielder,
The pitch.
Jake.
Swing and a miss, strike one.
Now, there's a certain point where you have to commit to what you think you see, and he guessed wrong right there. Nasty slider with just terrific bite at the end.
And it finds its way through for a hit. Man aboard on the leadoff single.
He needed that one. It's been a tough stretch at the plate lately. Pretty tough for the infielders to do anything with that one. He pulled it hard into the outfield, and even when you keep it on the ground, it feels great when you hit a missile like that. And now, let's see if they force some action.
Marisnick on the move. Pitch in for a strike, and he throws it away.
I'm not sure what happened there. I think I held wide too much.
Right now. Today, we're not driving the ball. It's hard to get extra base hits. We've got to make something happen to get a runner into scoring position. That stolen base, excellent call. Now, all it takes is perhaps a single to put a run on the board.
On to France. First out in the top of the 8th. Now the left fielder, Leori Garcia. Corner infielders guarding the lines, trying to prevent extra bases. And that's in there for strike one.
In the infield at the corners, don't be surprised to see them come home first and prevent that run from scoring.
They say away. One away with a runner at third.
Got him. That is a huge strikeout. That's fucking huge. Holy shit. I can't believe he went for that. That was way too cute. That was some cute fucking bullshit right there.
First offering misses the mark. Swings through that one.
Okay, we're going to throw a slider. We're going to throw it
Two
well
outs,
outside.
and one in scoring position. Got him.
Yes! Oh my
So no runs
god!
here, the base hit, no errors, and one left.
Oh,
One
that is
half of inning
huge.
number 8 straight ahead. It's
Holy
the Mariners
fuck.
4 and the
And there
White
was an
Sox
error
2.
in that and everything. We were still able to get out of that. Oh my god. What a fucking... God damn it, yes.
Ready for the bottom of the 8th. And now is the Mariners DH, Dylan Moore.
Designated hitter.
The pitch. Just off the outside part of the plate.
Okay. It's going to be the Munoz show coming in here. And we will warm up Matt Brash just in case he has good speed on a four-seam fastball. I like using it a lot.
Kicks
Honestly,
and
probably
deals.
should...
That's hard hit on the line.
Damn.
No trouble here. Puts
Damn.
it away for the out. One down.
I mean, some trouble.
Up next for Seattle, the third baseman,
Eugenio Suarez up to the plate now.
Suarez.
First pitch, and
That's
that's
fine.
in for a
That's
strike.
fine. It's not a great swing. You don't really want to see it, but...
They say away.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Swings and misses, struck him out.
That was a
Wow.
pretty good pitch, top of the strike zone. We're seeing more fastballs in that location. Hitters, especially with 2 strikes, have to be ready to pull the trigger.
Wong stands
Sean,
in here. Tried to hold back
stop.
his swing
What
there,
are
but
you
went around.
doing? What are you doing?
Next
The weird
offering
thing
foul
is,
back.
like,
It's been a solid inning so far in relief. Getting them through this inning only down
It's not even just the high 90s fastballs that get me. If somebody is consistently throwing
Fastball
like
almost got him there.
low 80s or whatever, like this guy's throwing a slider that's going to top out at 84. The difference between the two, Jesus Christ, still gets me. It still gets me. It's not even like, oh man, 97 miles an hour.
Now on the bump, Andres Munoz.
I think closer
Here
has
we go.
to be one of the
Let's fucking
toughest
go.
jobs in baseball, and we see a pretty high turnover rate because of it. Every outing seems to be high pressure, this one included. We'll see if he can wrap up the win and get himself a save.
Okay, a little inconsistent here. I mean, that's a strike, but okay. That slider just does not have
Set
break.
to start the ninth in this one. Here's the center fielder, Luis Robert. And a pitch. And there's a strike. Munoz, in his fourth year, he features a slider, a four-seamer, and he works in a two-seamer. The 0-2.
Ball, that's out.
That's a little unfortunate.
Popped
I'd
up.
have loved a little more break on the first slider and a little less on the third.
And it's caught for the out.
The first baseman, number 44, Zavala.
And here is Sebi Zavala. 0-1.
And it's not like the pitch was bad or anything. It was like 100% perfect.
On the ground to short. Gets it to first.
God, that eighth inning was
Now
so
only one
fucking
out
big.
remaining.
It was so big.
The batter, the third baseman.
Now the third baseman, Jake Berger. And that one just misses. A ball and no strikes. There's the strike. The 1-1. Bounce to third. On to first, ball game. And the Mariners take the first two games of this series.
All right, it was a little weird.
Won the first two games of this three-game series, so you would think the work is done, but when you're at home, I don't believe so. You got to come back with a mindset for Game 3 that you want to win it, and you're going to go out and do everything that it takes. You win like that at home, you position yourself for good things down the stretch.
And your final 4-2.
Robbie Ray picking up his 12th victory of the season. Andres Munoz, his 22nd save. Kopech drops to 7-3 following the loss. And it wasn't that bad of a loss. He's going to probably have a pretty good number of strikeouts. We were a little all over the map. That was it. I think it was. So the 7th inning was really rough defensively. I mentioned it in yesterday's game where sometimes, we'll pick up a little bit more insurance and it'll make the decision a little bit easier to try to leave that starter in through one more inning. Ideally, we get the starters through 6. That's kind of like the goal, and then 3 pitchers for the rest of the game, depending on the situation. And we got those insurance runs, right? We get the Cal Raleigh home run. He was 2 for 3 with a solo shot. We get that early. We get the 1 in the 5th off the wild pitch. And then we get the 2 in the bottom of the 6th. Right when I'm kind of starting to think about changing pitchers a little bit, Suarez comes through, big old 2-run blast. And you go like, okay, 4-run lead. It's not a save situation. If I can get him through 7, maybe it's just 2 pitchers after that, someone in Seawald, something like that. You kind of start to formulate that thought process. It got real weird. It got really weird. They were getting the hits that I had talked about them not getting. And you could see like why it is so important for them to not get those hits consistently, because they're able to move runners around and do all sorts of, get runs in and put a lot of pressure on me. especially when they get runners on early and I don't have very many outs. That is where I really struggle. Bottom of the 7th is a bit disappointing, or maybe it was the bottom of the 8th. Whichever inning, we had 2 on with nobody out, and then we came away with zilch. I think it was the bottom of the 7th. That is super frustrating. But, we're able to do enough to get a victory today. Got out of a wacky 7th inning, only giving up 2 runs. We got out of an 8th inning with 2 huge strikeouts. Obviously, the one to get out number 2 was probably the biggest one. Because as long as you get a grounder, it's a pretty easy out at first. And then, the run doesn't score. Then that cuts into a 1-run game, and then things get a lot different toward the end with the save situation. But we're able to hold that 2-run lead, a little bit of breathing room, not much, but just a little bit more. The big 8th inning to wiggle our way out of. Hey, this is the kind of team. These are the teams I want to beat. They're above 500. I think we faced Chicago in one of the last 2 playoff series, but I can't remember. Let me see if I can pull it up here, just real quick. While I kind of do that, Robbie Ray, 6.1 innings pitched, 4 hits, 9 strikeouts. It is no walks, 2 earned runs. It's enough to get him the win and player of the game. Michael Kopech, he comes away with the loss at 5.1 innings pitched with 4 hits, 7 strikeouts, 2 walks, 4 earned. Strikeout issue was kind of reared its ugly head again, is what I'm trying to say. We had 3 of them in the first inning. Over the last 4.1 that he pitched, we only had 4 total, so that's not terrible, but some of them were pretty bad. He does get charged with 4 earned runs, a couple of walks, gives up, a home run to Raleigh. And it was kind of weird because he pitched really well, and he's the kind of pitcher that's like, okay, just got to get him off the bump or get just enough, He's the kind of pitcher we're going to see later on in the season. Got to be able to at least get one. Both of these games here through the first, 5 innings or so. It's just like, how do I even have anything against this team? How do I have anything against them? But we did. Raleigh was 2 for 3 with a solo home run. Eugenio Suarez 1 for 4 with a 2-run blast. Ty France was 0 for 3 with a strikeout. J.P. Crawford 0 for 3, but he did score a run. This will win the series for the Seattle Mariners, which is good news. We're going for the sweep tomorrow. Let's see. Let me see if I can find that information real quick here. Regular season. We played the Cubs earlier this year. That's right. I remember. Kinda vaguely. The ALDS last year, the divisional series, we went to 5 games with them. And I believe it looks like we played them a couple of times. 1 series at home, it appears. I think we at least won the series. And then I don't think anything. Yeah, nothing else really. We played them in 2020. Oh, I'm sorry. We played them twice in 2022. We played them early, where we played okay, I guess. Okay. And then we played them at home later in the season. But the one I was thinking of, I was pretty sure we were in one of the playoff series against them, and it was the American League Division Series, Game 5. Chicago at Seattle, winner to the ALCS. Cool. All right, that's the exciting stuff. Like I said, we scored 4 runs in each of these games. That's pretty wild. Like I said, we're going for the sweep tomorrow. Great. Auto-utilize. What are we doing? Stop it. Lance Lynn, he is going to be on the mound for the Chicago White Sox. He's 5-8 with a 3.25 ERA. We have Marco Gonzalez on the bump, 6-4 with a 2.78 ERA. We'll be wearing our cream colors to celebrate. Not really to celebrate. Well, celebrate Sunday. They wear their Sunday uniforms. Tomorrow is Father's Day, so there is that. We're not wearing cream uniforms to celebrate that. That sounds a little weird. But we'll be back tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific time right here on youtube.com/ShaunosaurusRex. Be sure to scroll down, subscribe, ring the bell. You're notified whenever I post new videos. You can keep track of all the Mariners, keep updated on all the Mariners stuff. You can see it on the homepage. I went and reorganized some of it recently. It's got more playlists and stuff like that, and the Mariners playlist is there if you'd like to watch it. I do like the multi-playlist a little bit more because I think it's what I like. So there you have it. Watch some other stuff. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks so much for watching. We'll go for the sweep tomorrow right here. Good sports. Go Mariners. 6 p.m. Pacific time if I didn't say that already. Goodbye.